Adding a solution to Digital Explorer is really, really straightforward. It's all about the model. You're going to be creating an architectural model of your solution. So the first thing to remember is once you're inside the solutions module is log in with your global path. And then once you've done that, you'll be able to add a solution. We're not looking for an epic description. A lot of text around your solution. It's about the actual building blocks, the motivational elements, the features, the functions, the offerings, how they come together to create the solution. So we can really sort of guiding you through in terms of just adding them in as bullet points. The overall composition of the solution comes together in the end. And then we're then able to then connect that across the Digital Explorer platform so that others can find that when they're talking about trends or building innovation agendas. So first thing to do, select the type of solution. You can specify a reference architecture, maybe a partner capability, but you can also say a DXC solution. So let's start with a DXC solution. Give it a name. This is my solution. Give it a status. It's currently a proposal. The elevator pitch is really around, it's a powerful, rich message. It's a powerful message about your solution. Think in terms of how would you tweet this? How would you tweet about your solution? So we've deliberately limited this one to 140 characters. Keep it short, keep it snappy, keep it punchy. The description is there to allow you to take that forward. You can take that powerful message and you could then enrich that and enrich this statement. You can expand upon that. So that gives you a general definition of your solution. And then you start getting into that architectural view of that. So the business motivations. What's the general value prop message for this? What's the general message for around this solution? Give us some text. Again, we're not looking for a lot of information here. It's really when you get into this next section when you start sort of breaking that out. What were the client motivations? Maybe they wanted to do more and understand more around social media and improve customer retention, and based on the feedback which they were able to see from that social media. So we can start looking around sort of social media. You can see here it's starting to look at that trend side of the Digital Explorer platform. So you can start to pick out a matching trend. You can say, yeah, we want to do some social media analytics around this, social media analytics for brand protection and customer loyalty. So we can bring those in. You can also, you can match here both business and technology trends. You can also bring in your own. So we can also say, so maybe this was sort of focused within customer experience within the Asia region. So you can add in your own description here, your own motivation, and build upon that. So you can add your own, you can take from the catalog. The more you take from the catalog of trends really connects more of that information. We'll get better value as we're starting to build those innovation agendas and talking about trends. That's the first layer done. That's our business view done. Next, we get into the functional view. What were the building blocks, the capabilities, the offerings, the methodologies that were being used to create this solution? So the first thing we start walking through is the actual offerings. So here it's very similar to, it's exactly the same as the structure that we have on what we sell. Offering family, the major offering, and their sub-offerings. And then you can just pick which ones were part of this. Maybe we did something with the AWS services and the Amazon services and the Azure services. We can bring those in. We can add that. We can start to build up that functional view. Once you've selected your DXC offerings, and if you don't have DXC offerings, click next. It's okay. Add them in if they're there. You can then add any of the other features within it. So we could maybe talk about if it was an agile project, you can add that in, and that's a methodology. You can then sort of search and see what other people have added in. So as you add here, you're also contributing to that wider catalog as well. So here we say it's you can see it's a common feature that others have been using, but you could also add in your own. So if it was an agile Kanban, you want to be a bit more precise, you could add that in, define it as a method, give it a description, give it a technology group. You can make that available for others to actually use. You can build that out. That's essentially it. You've created your. What we've got here is we've created our business motivational view, and we created our functional view. And that, it just assembles that into that model. The next 3 sections are really about just closing that out. What's the team around this solution? No one person does this in isolation. So who was the architect? Who was the CT? Who was the developer? Who was the UX? Who was the tester, etc., etc. You can add in the team around it, and you can define the roles to which that person had. So you can build a map and a view of that full team around this solution. So you can bring those in. The other part that you can then add is just some supporting media. Is there a YouTube video? Is there a video on Video DXC? Is there a GitHub repository where there's some real detailed code around that? So you can bring all of that in. You can also bring in links to Word document, PowerPoint documents. You can also upload them. So you can add in, say, the GitHub repository for this, and you can either select from a predefined list of the document type. So we're going to look for GitHub repository here and upload that. That will become available. You can add, let's say there's a YouTube video, and there's a video demo with this. You can add that in as well. So I've taken that from that default list. You can also browse for content. So if we've got some images that we want to include, we can include a JPEG. And in this case, I'm just going to say that this is a great image from my solution. So you're free to give that your own name as well. You can upload that. Upload as many as needed. Keep them small. You know, we're not looking to replace SharePoints and GitHubs. If they are on there, link it through that way. Don't load all of the detailed content. You know, people can find the solutions through those connections of the motivations, through those connections of which offerings are being used on what solution. Allow them to drill into the detail. You don't need to bring it all into the actual solution definition here. The final piece just closes it out. Which industry? Is this a pan-industry solution? Is it just targeted for oil and gas? Is it just a travel and transportation? Specify that. All the rest of it is optional. You can be a little bit more precise in terms of the type of solution. Is this an agile application? Is it something around business process? Is it referenceable, yes or no? Default is no. You'll have to change that to yes if you wanted to. You can add any tags that are there, and it will pre-populate based on some of the ones that are already existing. Some of the top ones are there, and you can add your own. You can also specify the account. The account, it's many to many. You can specify more than one account where you know this solution is. Again, it's optional. Once you've done that, save your solution. It's done. That is your solution created. You can go back and edit that solution. You can change whatever's required, but what's collected here. So we have our powerful message at the top here. We have our description, our value proposition. We have our business trends and motivations, which we added, and we have our features. So we can see the offerings that we brought in, the methodologies that we created, and that will then get to be pulled together into this sort of architectural model view of that. And we have our media, so we can see a great image from my solution, and here's my great image that I included. And you can page through that. It will play the YouTube video in line as well, or it allow you, if it was a GitHub repository in this case, it can link out to that GitHub repository, so you can enrich that information. That's it. Solution added. The key thing really is to prepare that solution beforehand. Start thinking about what are the composition parts within this solution. Do I have any supporting media? Who are the people around this? Really sort of break it down and then add that solution. So adding a solution, really, really straightforward. Thank you.